Well, it's good to see you all again, and welcome to the angelic realm. The angelic what? Well, the angelic realm, there is such a place, and it's inside each one of you. It's inside of me, and I am in that place. So it's not just a talk, although you'll hear me talking from that place. And you must know that it is inside of you. It is only your mind and your feelings that are going to obscure it and make you think, note the word think, and feel that you are not in this place. The idea of being with me is so that by my reflection you start to see your own angelic realm. Now, the angelic realm, the human mind turns that into angels and visions of angels and thoughts of angels, but that's not true. The angelic realm has no division in it, no individuals in it, only individual consciousness, but not individuals, and certainly no persons. It's a state, and it's there now, and I trust that by the end of this afternoon you will have been in touch with that place. But I must warn you, it's nothing. It's nothing to speak of, nothing to think about. It's just a place of absence. Absence? Absence of what? Absence of all thought and all feeling. In other words, absence of your person. Absence of your anxious caring. Absence of your devotion to being abstracted in thought. It's just a state of being. And it is possible to do that in the midst of this very, very fast-moving existence, sensory existence. I wanted to report to you on the state of the human condition because I get a pretty good opportunity to see it around the world. And as you know, since I last spoke to you, a couple of weeks ago, I was in Europe for a month. And I spoke to 300 odd people in Holland at a residential for 5 days, and 300 odd people in Leicester in England for 5 days at a residential, and then 220 or 30 odd in Finland, little Finland, which has a population of around about 5 million, and spoke to them for 2 days. And the human condition is much the same as you know it. It's certainly not in the angelic realm, but that's the state of the public. The condition of the public is not the state of the people. Now, as far as I am concerned, you are the people. And I make that distinction, which is why I don't talk to the popular press. Because the popular press is concerned with the people, with the public. And I'm only concerned with the people. The people are the very essence of the public. The thing that's got a bit of heart in it, that's got some moisture in it, some love in it. There's no love in the public except for the love of excitement and the love of their selves and the love of being unhappy, the love of argument, the love of putting your own feelings onto some other poor person. That's the public. Lying and cheating, pretending to be honest, all misleading and concealing everything. No honesty in the public at all. That's why the popular press, there is no honesty in the popular press. But the people are the people that I talk to, a throbbing heart within the public. And that's the state. The people are always moving deeper towards the state of what I call the angelic realm, this state of peace. And I can report from having been with people all over Europe there, all those people, that the signs are very good among the people. more and more, since I have been teaching, have the questions, the mental questions that the public ask, that the media would ask, all that's disappeared. People now ask from the state instead of the condition. The human condition is a very, very unhappy, deceitful condition. The state of the people is the only hope for life on earth. And you are the people because no matter what you say, you love God. There is nothing like loving God. God is the best word that you can ever use because it means nothing. It's a point inside of you which is completely absent of any thought or any feelings. It's a sensational place, and it's there now. But there's no one home, no one there. It's just still and silence. And all of you here love that place. You've been drawn to that place inside of you. You find it irresistible. No matter what problems has beset you, you still come back and try to find more and more of this place inside of you. And you have come here to be with me in this place of stillness, for I am in this place of stillness. And that's all I've really got to offer, is the reflection of what I am and where I am, so that you may convince your ever-moving mind and emotions, your judgmental person, that you really are there, that this is the state where most of your life you actually are, apart from your thoughts and feelings. Now, the one thing that I have found is still the same thing that is troubling the people. They are still attached to their feelings. They still crucify themselves with feelings. And I trust you are applying this to your own life. Please don't think I'm giving a lecture. Please apply it to your own life. The cause of all unhappiness on earth is feelings. And feelings generate thought. So as thought is an effect of feeling, I want to speak about feelings. First of all, you have to go through feelings. By being born, you have to gather experience. And as you gather experience, we gather either what is good or what is bad. It's good to eat as a child. If the child or the infant doesn't eat, which is good, it feels bad, and so it cries for the need of food. But as we get older, this good and bad, this necessity which is good, and the absence of the provision of necessity is bad, becomes the person. And so we start to judge things, we start to develop feelings of what's good and what's bad. Now that's not necessary to judge that if I'm hungry, that that's bad. If I'm hungry, I'm hungry. If I'm starving to death, I'm starving to death. But that's not a feeling. That's a sensation. Are you hearing me, please? Because I want you to see the difference between sensation and feeling. To be hungry is a sensation. It's sensational. You feel it not as an interpretation of the need of food, but as the actual direct need of food in the sensory body as a sensation. So, being hungry is sensational. When I feel that need, which is a physical need, a necessary physical need for my existence, when I feel that need by having some food, I'm not hungry anymore. There's no sensation of hunger anymore. The sensation's gone. Through our experience, gathering experience, we gather the person, which instead of being satisfied by the fulfillment of our needs, starts to interpret the unfulfillment of our wants, as bad, and the fulfillment of our wants as good. So you can see there's a difference between our needs, like food, like a lovely day, or like rain, they're all our needs, and our wants. And if we were only true to our needs, everything would be fine. There would be no unhappiness on earth. But we've invented feeling to replace the reality of sensation. Sensationally, you should be absent. If you wanted to feel that you were alive, you've always got the sensation in your body. Like now. There shouldn't, putting that word in inverted commas, be any other feeling. Just the sensation of your own sensory existence. Feelings arise by interpreting existence. As I say, if I don't have any food, I feel bad. A bad feeling. I interpret not having food as being bad. But that's a psychological, emotional interpretation. Lots of people on the earth don't have any food. And we try to feel bad for them, but that's not right. The starving people in the other parts of the world are able to starve rightly and beautifully because they're not westernized. We're westernized because we interpret everything through feelings. They are able to suffer directly, or to know the sensation of hunger directly. So when you see the pictures of them, you won't see any screaming and emotionalizing like we Western people do. The complaining, the blaming. They're not interpreting what it is to die of hunger. They're just being death by hunger, or pain by hunger, because pain is a sensation. A sensational thing is pain. Pain being pain in the body, like hunger. But what do we do in the Western world? We interpret events. I interpret how you should be, for instance, my partner. I interpret, and so I get a feeling. A feeling arises from my interpretation of you. When the actions, your actions, should be a demonstration for me, a direct demonstration of what you are, where you are. But if I get a feeling that has interpreted your actions, then you will get a feeling about my feeling, because my feeling is going to make me unhappy. Every feeling makes everybody unhappy. The only reason you are unhappy is because you are still addicted to interpreting life through feelings. Feelings also don't do anything. I feel rotten today. I feel moody today. I feel hopeless today. What's the good of that feeling? What action are you going to take? Feelings don't want to take actions. They're an emotion of yourself which has never taken any action yet, except to drive the body to creating more unhappiness for you. Are you interpreting your life, or are you living your life and taking action instead of interpreting it with feelings which don't take any action except make your life more unhappy? Are you? If you're a woman with 3 kids to support and your man has left you, all you can do is take the action to do the best that you can, and take any action that occurs to you direct of what is best to take next moment. That's not interpreting your life. But if you start telling people how unhappy you are, how difficult it is for you, and complain in a complaining way, then you are interpreting your life, and you will then make yourself more unhappy than is necessary, and you will actually hold off the solution to your problem. But that's what everybody does, although, of course, we are loving beings. We're not just human beings. Human beings being suffering beings, feeling beings. We're actually loving beings. And so there are many women in that situation that I've just described, valiantly doing their best, not complaining, obviously able to communicate the paucity of their situation without complaining or blaming. Many women and many men are doing the same thing. But as soon as you interpret a situation, you start to get self-pity, feelings of self-pity. If you're in a job and you dread going in there, that's a feeling of dread arises. It's not the job. You either should be there or you shouldn't be there, or you should be taking action in a job. Something is bothering you there that your feelings are not allowing you to address and find out what is the action to take. Remembering again, feelings are the interpretation of events. Now, where are you unhappy? Then you will have a feeling. As I remind you of that place, I will remind you of the feeling inside of you, which is your interpretation of your existence. What action are you taking to get rid of that feeling? To overcome the fear, which fear is a feeling. And fear stands at the doorway and won't allow the action. Now, why are you not taking action if you have a feeling? Feelings mean that you're not taking action. So I trust you're looking at your life. On the same subject, I wrote an article for an American magazine. And they asked me to write it, and the man is a spiritual teacher, and it's Andrew Cohen, as a matter of fact. And I wrote the article because Andrew himself asked me if I would. And his editor, and it was entitled Love is Not a Feeling. Love is not a feeling. So the editor, a generous and fine-spirited man, interviewed me by phone, and because they had a bit of trouble with what I say. Because whoever heard of anyone saying love is not a feeling, and then talking about it, feelings like I'm talking to you now. It's just not said in spiritual circles because nobody's ever said it on the earth before, so you can understand it's a bit difficult to take. And also when I say all feelings are unnecessary, and I say that all feelings lead to all thought, the editor naturally asked the question in the article, does this mean that in the enlightened state, there's no feeling and no thought? Well, the answer to that is, because I declared in the article, of course, as I always do, that I am enlightened, because I am enlightened, the answer to that is yes. In the enlightened state, there is no feeling and no thought. You see, it's so difficult, isn't it? We're so attached to what makes us unhappy our feelings and our thoughts, that the thought of giving them up is just intolerable. And so they want to justify just one little feeling. Couldn't I have one little feeling, please? Or one little thought? And the answer is no. Not if you want to be enlightened. And the name of the magazine is, What is Enlightenment? So I told them. But it's very difficult, isn't it? How's it sitting with you, this? Do you still love your unhappy feelings and thoughts? How can you be attached to them when I can demonstrate any time to you that your feelings and your thoughts are crucifying you and distorting your life? Do you want to justify them? Have one little feeling, one little thought? Of course, the important thing is to grasp the difference between feeling and sensation, isn't it? See, that's, our minds are so divided, too unenlightened, which means too narrow to be able to get around the whole thing at once. Sensation is the truth of existence. We are sensory creatures. So, I have the sensation of being hungry. And if I don't eat, my body, which is all I've got, will die. That's sensational, isn't it? Same with water. If I don't drink, I die. So I have the sensation of being thirsty. And that often happens to me during the day. But we have taught our children, and our whole vocabulary has developed with the wrong use of the word, I feel thirsty. Well, we all know what we mean, don't we? But the use of the word wrongly has created a wrong effect psychologically in us and taken us further from the truth. I'm thirsty. Well, I use the word feeling. I know we all do, and there's no problem in using the word, only that it sets off an effect of ignorance. I'm thirsty. Or I have pain in my body. If I have pain in my body, it's a sensational thing, is it not? Isn't pain a sensational thing? There's no argument about it, is there? It's sensational. But I don't have to interpret that. I don't have to interpret what I've got, the pain that I have in my body if I have it. I can just say I've got pain. And I can certainly look at it with my intellect and my experience alone and see if it suggests to me what I should do in the form of action to take, to go to the doctor, the medical or the alternative doctor, to do some treatment. I can certainly do that. But if I interpret it with feelings, I'll start to feel through my emotions that I'll convert the sensation, the pure sensation, into feelings of fear. Now I trust that you're hearing me and that you live your life as much as possible directly. Remember, feelings arise from not taking action. Can you get this, please? First of all, feelings are the interpretation of events. My loved one is dead. Just died this morning, let us say. That is a direct sensational. It has a sensational effect in my body. My body is sensationally affected. If I have a feeling about how interpret that death, that absence, that sudden hole in my experience where they used to fill it, if I start interpreting that as a feeling, I will get feelings like this. What am I going to do? I can't go on. Oh, how I will miss them. Oh, how can I live my life? These are feelings of despair. of unhappiness, emotionalizing that death of someone that I love, instead of having the sensation of, indeed, a sensation of pain inside the body, a sensational pain inside the body, but not interpreting it in terms of the future or the past. Then I have to take the action and say, well, why am I feeling this terrible sensation inside of me of hurt or of pain inside of me? Why? And the answer is because, and you see if this is not the truth, because I am not accepting life as it is. Everybody dies. Everybody's been dying since time began. I have had an expectation that the one that I love is one person who's going to survive where nobody else has. Now that's obviously ridiculous. And I have thought anyway that the person that I love is not going to die today, like so many people are going to die and are dying today, but they are going to be spared and they're always going to die tomorrow, which means they're never going to die. So you see, the action is for me to see, the action of that sensational pain of someone dear to me dying is for me to take the action and see the absurdity of the way I have been living and not accepting life as it is, and knowing that life is likely to take anything that I have any moment from me now and not tomorrow, because you always die now and your loved one always dies now, not tomorrow. Now that is accepting life as it is. And when I began this talk, I said about accepting your life as it is. It's not only your life as it is that you've got to accept. It's life as it is. And your life is absolutely the circumstances of your life as they are now. The only thing is, are you interpreting those circumstances through feelings and therefore creating a subculture in yourself, which has become your main focus in your life? You've got a subculture down there in the dark, an emotional subculture going on, running things through which whatever you see, you start to see through the film of your emotions, your feelings. So you can't see direct. You can't see life as it is. You can't take the necessary action. Now, would anyone like to ask me a question about this very, very fundamental cause of all human unhappiness? Feelings, which the whole world loves and defends. And I shall be talking like this for the rest of my life, endeavouring to convey to just a few people who are going to understand this, and therefore leave that behind when I withdraw from this existence. For this is the finest and latest truth that I can reveal to you on this earth.